welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today, Mahadeva is gracing us in a unique leela, VANNIYUM, KINARUM, LINGAVUM SAAKSHI SONNA VADALAM. It means calling the Vanni tree and the Shiva Linga and well to give a witness in the court. He comes even as a witness in the court to remove the legal cases on the devotees. Sakshi Sonna Vadalam. The story is, it's a very beautiful story, very sweet story. There was a merchant in Kaveri Delta in Chola Kingdom who told that his daughter has to be given in marriage to the merchant whom he named. Actually, the merchant told his daughter should be married to another one guy who is his close relative living in Madurai. And the merchant died. They brought that Madurai guy to Kaveri Delta and gave this girl to him, saying that you please take her to Madurai and marry her. So both of them have started traveling towards Madurai. On the way, in a place called Tirupurambiyam, they had darshan of Tirupurambiyanathar and they have nowhere to stay. They asked the local priest, temple priest, where we can stay. The priest said, don't worry, stay in the temple itself. There is a Vanni tree under which you can sleep and temple kitchen will give you food. Both of them were sleeping under that Vanni tree. Unfortunately, a snake bit the man and the man died. This girl, literally orphaned because father is no more and would-be husband, the husband who is going to be, is also no more. Feeling orphaned, she cries to Mahadeva, Tirupurambiyam Mahadeva Shiva. At that time, Tirunjana Sambandar was in the monastery just near the temple. It's a monastery complex. Even now the temple and monastery complex belongs to Madurai Adinam. And he heard the story and he rushed to the spot and sang a song about Mahadeva. Immediately the man came back to life. Man came back to life and poison could not do anything to him. He came back to life and so Jnanasambandar blesses both of them and says, get married here itself in front of the Tirupurambiyam Shiva. They also felt Jnanasambandar's presence is there, let us get married here itself. And they both got married in the Jnanasambandar's presence and in the presence of Shiva Linga, the Tirupurambiyam Mahadeva. And both of them went to Madurai, settled in Madurai. After a long time, the merchant who married her, he also died. Now it is the time for sharing the property. Problem came between two wives. This guy was already married. Even though he was already married, because of the father's will, the girl also was given to him as second marriage. I think all of you understand the story. I think I missed this point. The merchant who was supposed to marry this girl was already married, so it's a second marriage. Now this guy also died. Both wives, the property issue started. Both wives' sons have started the property problem. They go to the Pandya's court. Suddenly the first wife accused the second wife was not a legal wife, legitimate wife. There was no witness for her marriage. And actually there is no witness, living witness, because Jnanasamundar left the body by that time. And Shiva Linga is the only witness. Finally, the second wife cried and prayed in front of Sundareshwara, Mahadeva, you are the witness. Because she cried, Mahadeva appeared in human form in the Pandya court and said, I am the witness. And these fellows, the Pandya king and the court fellows, because Mahadeva appears every once in a while, they did not even bother about Mahadeva's witness. They said, you come and tell whatever you want when your devotees cry and call you. Come on, you give us some more witnesses who are witness that you are the witness. Then Mahadeva laughs and says, the well and the Vanni tree and the Shiva Linga of Tirupurambiyam, all three are the witness. All the fellows in the court laughed and said, will all the three come here and register their witness? Mahadeva orders, let it happen, and all three appeared, materialized themselves in the Pandya's court, which was a Madurai temple also, which is Madurai temple, which was Pandya's court. All the three appeared and gave the witness, and still all the three are there in Madurai temple. Linga and the Vanni tree and the well, and I did my best to get information about that well. Even the people who are in this field of construction and archaeology, they say, this well does not seem to have been dug, Swamiji. Suddenly it materialized. Because nowhere the construction or digging evidence is there. As if the whole thing appeared at a time. So, very miraculous happening. Still the evidence is there. Then, naturally, the second wife also got the legitimate wife title and the property. So, from that moment, Tirupurambiyam Shiva is called as Sakshinada Swami because he came and gave witness. And Tirupurambiyam Mahadeva is very powerful, especially to solve the litigations and give victory. He gives victory in litigations as he is a Sakshinada. So Mahadeva is today gracing all of us in this leela. Lingavum, Kinarum, VANNIYUM, Sakshikku Alaitha Vadalam. Sakshi Sonna Vadalam. Where the tree, linga and well, all the three gave witness. Today's subject, Nitya Satsang. I will continue to expand on completion, the power of completion to remove the root pattern. Listen. Completion is literally giving your life back to you. Completion is literally you reclaiming you into your life. I can go on and on. I tell you, the only gap between you and the Vedic tradition, you see, in the Vedic tradition we tell like this hundreds of stories where Mahadeva himself came and gave a witness. He himself came and taught lessons. In Vedic tradition we tell so many stories. Surely our masters are not liars. And they are not the people with the superstitions. Surely our masters are the people very logical, scientific, never spreading superstitions. superstitious things. But in the modern day, all these things are thought to be superstitiousness. Why there is so much gap? See, in the Vedic tradition, if somebody curses, it happens. An ordinary housewife, Savitri, is able to stop the sun. Why the gap? What is the gap between the life during the Vedic times and now? Why all that which happened at that time is not happening now? Jnanasambandar gave life to the dead just like that. Why? It is literally impossible now. I tell you, the only gap, why it was happening at that time, why it is not happening now, the answer is incompletions. It is incompletions. When you complete everything, what you read in the Vedic tradition becomes reality, can be reality. I tell you, completion is the bridge to reach Vedic tradition, to reach the extraordinary powers, to experience extraordinary happenings in your life. Completion is life. In every level, I can give you the whole list. The only difference between you and the Ramanuja I am talking about mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujam. The only difference between you and him is level of completion. The only difference between you and Adi Shankara, level of completion. The only difference between you and Jnanasambandar, level of completion. I tell you, with the completion, you start living with God directly. See, even today's story, the girl cries, my would-be husband is dead. Immediately Jnana Sambandhar appears and gives life to her. Life to him, sorry. Gives life to him. And she cries in the Pandya's court, I am the legitimate wife. They are saying that I am not a legitimate wife. Mahadeva, you are the witness. And immediately Mahadeva appears and gives a witness statement. Surely it is all not superstition. Be very clear. It is possible in the modern day. Still it is happening. Still he is appearing, giving life to many. It is not superstition. What's the gap? Then why we feel it is not exactly happening in our life? Many times, the gap is just incompletions. I tell you, completion is sannyas. Completion is spiritual growth. With the completion, everything becomes reality. With the completion, the whole life will be different. How many days I sing the glory of completion, I think I may not be able to complete the glory of completion. अपूर्णत्व आपको आपका जीवन पुनः मिलना है, अपने जीवन पर अपना अधिकार फिर पाना पूर्णत्व है। क्या अंतर है वैदिक समय की जीवन और आज के जीवन में? उस समय के चमत्कार आज के समय क्यों नहीं हो रहे हैं? इसका कारण केवल अपूर्णता है। जब आप सबकी साथ पूर्णत्व करते हैं, आज भी चमत्कार हो सकते हैं। पूर्णत्व वो पुल है जो आपको असाधारण अनुभवों और शक्तियों को अनुभव करने की क्षमता देता है। पूर्णत्व ही संन्यास है। पूर्णत्व के साथ ही आप आध्यात्मिक वृत्ति पा सकते हैं। If you want peace, do completion. If you want efficiency in your life, do completion. If you want effectiveness in your profession, do completion. If you want to excel in your career, do completion. If you want beautiful relationships, do completion. I tell you, when you complete, not only the outer effects like excellence in your profession, career, relationships, inside you so much of your inner space is regained. Your consciousness is back to you. The more your inner space is back to you, the more your consciousness is back to you, the more miracles you can cause in your life, more mysteries you can handle in your life, more bliss can be experienced in your life. If Hitler would have done completion, millions of Jews would have been saved. If we can create complete beings who are stable, planet Earth will be less violent. Planet Earth will be more livable place. जब आप पूर्ण होते हैं, आपके बाहर की दुनिया ही नहीं परिवर्तित होती है, बल्कि आपका अंतर आकाश, आपकी चेतना पुनः आपके पास आ जाती है। अगर आपको शांति चाहिए तो पूर्णत्व कीजिए, अगर आपको आपके व्यवसाय चाहिए तो पूर्णत्व कीजिए, अगर आपको अपने संबंधों को वृद्धि करना है तो पूर्णत्व कीजिए। The first mantra of the first Upanishad is Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Means out of whole the whole came out. Even if the whole is removed from the whole remains as a whole. Means out of completion, experiencing the whole, out of completion, realizing you are the whole, is enlightenment. When you feel you are the whole, you experience the wholeness of the cosmos. If you experience wholeness, you will radiate holiness. Completion. उपनिषद का सबसे पहले मंत्र है पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। अर्थात पूर्ण से पूर्ण उत्पन्न हुआ है और पूर्ण से अगर आप पूर्ण को निकाल भी दे, पूर्ण ही रह जाता है। पूर्णत्व द्वारा इस पूरे ब्रह्मांड की पूर्णता को अनुभव करना यही जीवन मुक्ति है। I tell you, when you do completion, you realize many of the immature, inadequate cognitions you had, with that, the sufferings you created for yourself. And you will also realize now many cognitions you have, you will realize them, they are immature, inadequate cognition in near future. So, now itself start developing adequate cognition. जब आप पूर्णत्व करते हैं, आप में उपस्थित कई अधूरे और अपर्याप्त सोच और विचार पूर्ण होने लगते हैं और आप पूर्णत्व स्थिति में स्थिर होते हैं। Completion takes away the agitated confusion and alternative compensating image you create, alternative compensating cognition you create in our life because we have a very disempowering cognition about ourselves, we go on creating an alternative compensating cognition to compensate with your inadequate cognition. It is like you first declare you are beggar, forgetting the billions of dollars you have in your bank balance, and then you yourself try to project a rich image to cover your belief that you are a beggar. But unfortunately, the final thing is, you projected your whole life yourself as a rich man, but lived as a poor man, but in reality you are a rich man and richest man. Understand? You projected, you tried so hard to prove to the world you are a rich man, but you always believed yourself and lived as a poor man, but in reality your richest man never knew about the richness you had in your bank balance. It's like you kept in some Swiss bank all your money and you forgot the number, and you even forgot how much you kept there, like some of the Indian politicians. To compensate the inadequate cognition which got created unconsciously inside you at an incomplete moment of your life, which is your inner image, you create an alternative compensative cognition, which is your ahamkara. पूर्णत्व आपसे ब्राह्मित उत्तेजना को समाप्त कर देता है, और जो वैकल्पिक चावी और स्व अनुभूति आप बनाते हैं उसे दूर करता है. First of all, you create a very disempowering, inadequate cognition about you, and then you feel shy about it, and then you create an alternative compensating cognition, and you spend your whole life defending the alternative compensating cognition, which is your outer image. Till the end, you never feel satisfied because you feel the guilt you showed, which is not true, without realizing your true identity is much, much, much more than which you can imagine and show. Whole life ends in deep incompletion, and your trial and error methods you do with the incompletions. Understand this example. You are actually rich, but suddenly, for some reason, you fell into the coma and forgot the bank account number and password and the amount of money you had, $10 billion you had in Swiss bank. You forgot all the details. And you wake up and feel you are poor, but you wanted to project yourself as a rich to the world. So you go on trying hard, struggling with your whole life, just to project as an alternative, compensating cognition, outer image. I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. Your whole life goes in proving that. Suddenly, before death, again you fall into the coma and remember that you had so many $1 billion. in this bank, in this country, this is the account number and password. But now nothing can be done. You are dying. This is exactly is your life. If you complete now, first thing, you will realize the alternative compensative cognition is a lie and it will melt down. Second thing, your disempowering cognition about yourself, that will melt down. Third, you will realize your original self is much more than what you projected as your outer image, alternative compensating cognition. And you will have complete easiness between what you feel as you and what you show as you and what you are as you. Completion melts down all the obstructions. The obstructions for your realizations are like mountains, heap of mountains, but the process of completion and completing can melt down even the mountains of incompletions. So complete with everything. Especially with this right context, the context of enlightenment. Understand, this completion is used in many traditions by many teachers, gurus, psychiatrists. But the context in which I am using is totally different. Here I am giving completion to completion. This completion will give completion to your completion. With completion, you will really feel like enriching. Teaching completion to others is the greatest enriching. That is why in those days, kings always supported enlightened beings, creating the infrastructure needed for enlightened beings to teach this science. It is unfortunate in the modern day, the so-called government not only does not create the infrastructure to teach the science of completion, and it hinders the people who are teaching this completion. All those who received enriching initiation, enrich everyone with the science of completion. With the science of completion. Enrich people with the science of completion. That is why I am introducing this 4-day program only to introduce completion, to share the science of completion. The 4-day program will be called as Introduction to Inner Awakening. You will be initiated into the 4 tattvas and the science of completion. August 16th to 19th, we will be having this program, and with every inner awakening, The first 4 days we will have this introduction to inner awakening, and next 6 days, means the first 10 days will be level 1, and then the next 11 days will be level 2. Because I feel if the science of completion is taught to the world, so much can be done. So much can be done. एक उदाहरण लीजिए, आप एक बहुत ही धनी व्यक्ति है, किंतु किसी कारण आप अचेत अवस्था में गए और अपने धन की स्मृति को बैठे, आप अपनी धनी छवि दूसरों को दिखाने के लिए आपने एक वैकल्पिक चाबी बनाई, फिर आप इस अपराध भाव में फंस गए कि आप अपनी एक गलत झूठी चाबी दिखा रहे हैं। आपके जीवन के अंत में आपको फिर स्मरण आया कि आप धनी व्यक्ति थे। आपके जीवन वास्तव में इसी उदाहरण के समान है। पूर्णत्व द्वारा ही आप अपनी असली चाबी जान सकते हैं। पूर्णत्व आपसे भ्रमित उत्तेजना को समाप्त कर देता है, और जो वैकल्पिक चाबी और स्व अनुभूति आप बनाते हैं, उसे दूर करता है। लगातार स्वयं और अन्य लोगों को पूर्णत्व स्थिति में लाइए। यही सबसे बड़ा लाभान्वित और समृद्धि लाने वाली आध्यात्मिक अभ्यास है। Completion, completion, completion. Completion is God. Completion is life. Completion leads you to cosmos. Literally, completion gives you everything. Completion releases you from all karmas, whether it is Naga dosha, Sani dosha, Rahu dosha, or any astrological doshas, Vastu doshas. You will be relieved from all doshas just by completion, just through completion. Sit and practice completion. I'm getting the message. Malaysia, Nithyananda Hindu Sangha is declaring they will enrich 1,000 lives for Introduction to Inner Awakening program for August 16th to 19th. My blessings to Nithyananda Hindu Sangha in Malaysia. पूर्णत्व ही आपको अपना मन चाहे वास्तविकता को दे सकता है। इसीलिए मैंने एक नवीन 4 दिन का कार्यक्रम की रचना किया है, जहां मैं पूर्णत्व स्थिति में आपको दीक्षा दूंगा और उसके बाद आप लगातार पूर्णत्व स्थिति में रहने का टेक्निक आप सीख सकते हैं। पूर्णत्व भगवान है, पूर्णत्व जीवन है, पूर्णत्व आपको सभी कर्मों से मुक्त करता है। चाहे वो नागदोष हो या राहुदोष हो, शनिदोष, पूर्णत्व का अभ्यास कीजिए, क्योंकि पूर्णत्व ही सब कुछ है। यह 4 दिन का कार्यक्रम अगस्त 16 से अगस्त 20 तारीख तक हो रहा है और जानकारी के लिए हमें कॉल कीजिए। कॉल करने का नंबर आपका टीवी स्क्रीन पे है। With this, I move to Nirahara Samyama. All the Nirahara Samyama participants, I wanted to remind you all once more. If you are tired, feeling hungry, dehydrated, you should not continue the Samyama. You should complete it, end it. You should try next time. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.